Why? Because all their actions are not for Allah. And we talked about this at length last time, or in the last class. Their actions might be insincere. Their actions may appear like they are for the sake of people, but rather they are for the sake of Allah, but rather they are for the sake of people. This is why one hadith, it mentions the first to enter and the first to be questioned and be thrown into the fire are the people of scholarship in Quran. Instead of mentioning all the other criminal activities that are done, people who recited Quran for the sake of people noticing, and people who learned and did good for the sake of people praising them, and attention, status, and fame, and so on and so forth. They're very dangerous things. So one may think that they were doing actions of good, but they actually the entire time were doing actions of wrong. So it's like the outward form looked great, but inside was rotten poison, right? And so it's not going to be pure the same as something inside that's actually pure. The outward and the inward have to be correct, which is why in Islam the science of purification exists, and which is why it's so important to study that, because somebody who doesn't learn how to purify their heart could get into this state. And then he says somebody may have been doing the actions outwardly that were haram, but inwardly they were always returning back to their Lord and repenting and broken before Him, and had a yearning to fix themselves, but they just kept doing the wrong. But Allah, I really want to improve. And so there's different ways in which Allah examines. So we should all have hope when we sin, that as long as we are turning back to Allah and we're not sinning arrogantly. There's a difference between the arrogant sinner who says, I'm not even sinning. This isn't even a sin. This is not even a big deal. Or what's the big deal? Everybody else is doing it. And the one who says, I'm really messing up right now. Like, I really shouldn't be doing this. Ya Allah, I'm really, really ashamed, and I feel sorry that I'm doing this, but I can't help it. My nafs has